Often we only hear about event planning businesses when it comes to weddings. Today I'm going to share with you the different types of industries that you can get in if you are an event planner. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Jessie. Hello. I like talking about all things that pertain to the event industry and the unsexy back office things that help you with growing and being a business owner. For today's video, I wanted to share with you the different types of industries that you can thrive, make a lot of money, and do really well. So let's get into the conversation. The first industry is something that I do. I'm a corporate event planner. Often I pause when I tell people I'm an event planner because people often think about weddings and special events. And I'm like, well, what I do isn't so sexy. And the thing is too, in corporate events, there's a plethora of different types of events you can do as an event coordinator or event planner inside of the corporate space. With corporate events, I personally like it because it allows for you to still execute the events that you love without the high intensity of a wedding. Typically with corporate events, depending on the leg of business that you do, it's a little bit more laid back than what it would be for a wedding. Usually for corporations, they'll have clarity on what their goal is. They may not know exactly what they're looking for, but they will give you the freedom to do it as long as it's able to get the return on investment that they're trying to actually execute. They tend to be a little bit more open and receptive because they trust you to be an expert. So that's one of the reasons why I particularly like corporate events. And two, the best part about it is that you can get repeat bookings. Typically in the corporate event space, they're not looking to hire you just one time, especially if they love you. And then they do like to share your information through that space. So you find that if you can get into the right circle and you offer the right type of service, you'll find that you'll get a bunch of referrals. So it helps you with growing your business a little bit faster than doing the one-on-one type of personal event. The second option is going to be social events. Social event planning, and you can niche into just only doing social events. Please do not make the mistake of trying to do all of the 7 that I'm going to recommend, because you don't really need to do that to have a successful business. And it's not until someone is an agency where they have multiple planners, you have a ton of resource and your company is making a ton of money, that you're able to do all of these different industries that I'm going to be talking about today. So if you want to do social events, I know some people that are super uber successful when they only do baby showers, or there's an event planner that I started following on TikTok that specializes only in bachelorette parties in the state of Florida. So social events doesn't mean that you have to do all types of social events. And sometimes too, what it is making sure you're marketing and a clear messaging. Of course, if someone comes to you for a baby shower and now they're wanting to do something for their anniversary, you would want to take them, of course. But if you're really trying to double down on, this is what I do, baby showers, that's what I really specialize in, you can do that. And then the people that you actually start to serve, they will ask you for other things, but you just don't necessarily market those things so that you can keep your messaging clear. But social events can be anything from bachelorette parties, baby showers, quinceañeras. It all comes down to the creativity and most importantly, where you're located. That is something super important when it comes to social events, as you can look at what's the different types of groups of people that are there and start to figure out what can be something that you can really master and niche down and double down on, so you can be the person that they think of when they need that type of service in your area, especially if you focus on marketing locally. The third one is going to be something that I think is a little bit outside the box. Because I find that sometimes event planners want to do all the things. However, you can be someone that just does event design or event coordinating only, because everyone isn't strong at all the things. And to be honest, for certain scales of businesses, it doesn't make sense for them to do all the things. So they tend to want to work with an event designer, sometimes will want to work with an event planner, so that they can work together and execute some of these large scale events. Believe me, the people that are doing these $1 million or $500,000 events, it's not because the planner is doing it all. There's someone that works on design that they overview the actual design with the planner, then they go to the actual couple to get their feedback. So if you are someone that just likes to do the design, you can market yourself as someone that only does the design. And with event coordinating, that's just someone that's putting together all those little details. I kind of float between the coordinator role at this point. When I first started my event planning company, I was very hands-on. And then I just realized I kind of like the coordinating space. And that's the beautiful thing about running your business. You can build something that you love. You don't want to force yourself to go into an industry or go into a vein of the event industry that you really don't enjoy. In the beginning, I did a few personal events, and I hated it. And I was like, you know what? This isn't my ministry. And the reality is I knew that inside of the type of events I did, I only needed to have X amount of clients a year. So I did not need to spread myself thin to have a very successful, lucrative business. So I just stayed in my lane and I worked it, and I've had a lot of success in it. So if you want to be an event coordinator, you can do that. That's someone that's really organized, that likes to have relationships. Again, and that's something that you can do within someone else's boutique, or you can be a contractor for someone that's a planner. I always advocate for collaboration inside of our space, because it makes it easier, because you don't want to do everything on your own, believe me. Even though you can, you don't want to, especially to grow something that's going to be extremely lucrative. The fourth industry that is booming and will continue to boom, if you ask me, is going to be destination weddings or destination events. So if you want to coordinate events and you want to do it at different destinations or locations, this can be something great, because I've also even seen this insurgence of brands doing these little type of events and team building events and cohort events at locations and destinations that are not in America. So if that's your thing, if you have relationships with people in certain countries and you want to really start marketing in that way, I highly recommend it, because it will be something that I think more people are leaning more towards, especially in small businesses and individual brands. But of course, wedding destinations are extremely popular. And then also too, honeymoons. Like if you want to have a elite type of service that's giving specific event planning and coordination services to a luxury client for honeymoons, that is a thing. Don't knock it until you try it. Of course, with that type of clientele, it's going to be a high expectation. However, if you're the type of person that can deliver on that, don't hesitate, because the reality is that everyone doesn't want to take care of everything inside of their events or special activities. You can do something that's small and still make money, and you can do the bigger ones. And I do like to share this, because I feel that because we only see one style of events, that we don't understand that there is a wide range of things that we can do. The next type is going to be consulting services when it comes to events. So event planners, especially even in the corporate space, you'll find that you can be a consultant and you're just sharing your expertise, or you might only just work on a project or an assignment or an installation, because that is part of corporates, where people doing brand activations for a certain amount of time period. So you can market yourself as a consultant. Consulting services or acting as a consultant has been really growing, not just in the event industry, but in just a wide range of different industries. It just, again, comes down to where you're located, what is your specialty, and then what are you most comfortable with. Everyone doesn't feel comfortable working with corporate clients, and I get that. And sometimes that can just be negative self-talk. However, I do know that in the consulting space, that is something that is really growing. In fact, I'm starting to really explore that myself, and giving consulting services to corporations to help them with acting as a event coordinator from a consulting standpoint. And that's something that I would love to do, because it would be nice to know that I just got X contract to work with a company for a whole year. instead of having to be a full-time employee. So when consulting work, it can just be based off an assignment. It can be based off of a time frame. You can have a flat rate or you can do hourly rates. It just comes down to how you want to organize your consulting business. So for those of you that have been watching and you've kept up with all of the different types of industries and niches that you can work in, I would love to hear from you below. Like, which one are you doing right now, or which one did you not know even existed? Because again, it's all about exposure. And I just want to let you know that I do have a community for event industry professionals, and it's called the Back Office Collective. Inside of the Back Office Collective, I talk about things that pertain to you running your business. So everything from how to use networking events to help scale, how to hire people, how to organize your business, just to name a few. But I would love to see you either in the community or just comment below so that I can hear more from you. All right, that's it for today. Peace.